Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the TB&J podcast. Across from me is Chris Carroll.
I took a red-eye flight to be here, Jeff.
Oh, man, the dedication to the craft.
For the premiere of The Boys, and off to our side is the boy himself, D.
The original boy.
That's just because you're old.
It is.
That's why you're the original.
Also, I made you all watch The Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember sitting in your house, and you were like, yo, you got to watch this show. It's called The Boys, and you showed me a trailer, and I was like, it's whatever. And then I went home and watched it, and I was like, this is the greatest fucking show ever.
Yeah, the worst.
I know, right? Except when you were like, oh, watch Stranger Things, and then I started to, and I was
no,
like,
you're
this
the
is
fucking
boring.
worst. You're the worst. You're the absolute worst. I'm going to hurt you.
All right, listen, we can complain about Jeff all day,
However,
but you should run that theme song.
Anyway, we're going to cover... Damn it.
You'll get him next time.
We watched episode 1 of season 3 of The Boys. We have not watched 2 and 3 yet because it is a long night. It is a school night, and we got school in the morning, kids. We got to wake up bright and early for algebra and calculus and geometry. And why am I only naming math classes? Chris, name a class.
Social studies.
Thank you. Perfect. Nailed it.
I have to take another flight home tomorrow.
Exactly. We got shit to do, but we wanted to sit down when The Boys premiered and at least get one episode under our belt before we wrap up our season 3 launch coverage later on this weekend. So we watched the very first episode, and boy fucking howdy, does it go hard. It goes real fucking hard.
I would say it had an explosive entrance, but you could say that for every first episode of season of The Boys.
There's a lot of explosions. There's a lot of people exploding. The fucking the termite soup was in another man's dick hole when he sneezed and got big and just split the man in half. Split him in half.
All right, so this is all before the title card, which is like, fuck, man. When you get me, like, I mean, I guess I'm here for The Boys to just be like, oh, what the, fuck. Like, that's
right.
what I'm looking for in The Boys, because as soon as it was literally, honestly, the sneeze to explode him was the least of that scene. He shrinks down, and then you're just like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Yeah, because his partner takes off his pants.
And you're like, no, it's his fucking urethra. And then he's inside, and he's just feeling around. The guy's like, oh, I love it. This is the part to me where I'm like, everything about this hurts.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So it's called sounding when you put things inside your dick hole. You're supposed to use something with a flared base.
I don't want to know that.
You're supposed to use something with a flared base. That way you can retrieve it, and some men find it enjoyable. I do not, but I do happen to know the term.
I thought we were going to start seeing vor for a second here.
Which don't want to
also
know these new terms. Every time I hear a fucking new sex term, it's wrong.
Well, there's also bubbling, which is where you piss into your own mouth by doing a handstand.
Well, that I mean, everybody knows that.
Come on, Jeff.
It's only called bubbling in Australia. I don't know if it has a term up here differently than it does down under.
Well, it's reverse.
Hey. Anyway, so first episode is a fucking doozy, right? So now Huey works for Congresswoman Newman, who's now the head of the Bureau of Superhuman Affairs, overseeing Vought and all of their bullshit.
Ironic they made her ahead of anything.
Or is she, right? Because at a photo op for the Dawn of the Seven movie premiere, there's a photographer who calls her Nadia.
Nadia.
Yeah.
She's very naughty.
No, that was
She's being a little naughty.
You get
I like it better.
It's stretching.
Better? Okay.
But but he calls her Nadia, and Huey's just like, that's weird. Her name's clearly not Nadia. It's Victoria Newman. And he and Starlight are still together. They're banging, and that's great.
Yeah, come to think of it, I don't believe that's her name at all.
Victoria Newman?
Like, there's no way that woman...
Newman?
Yeah.
That's her last name?
Yeah, jeez.
Come on.
It's a little on the nose.
It's a little too on the nose.
Victory Newman!
It's like fucking Saul Goodman. It's like, Saul Good, man. Like, clearly that's not his real fucking name, but he's Saul Goodman.
Is that the joke? That's awesome.
Yeah, that is the good. That's the joke.
In the show?
Yep.
I never watched.
His real name is Jimmy McGill.
No, I know that's his name in the show. I'm just wondering if he actually did it as a joke to say Saul Goodman.
Yeah, that's where he got it from. Yeah,
That's
he was like,
awesome.
Saul Goodman, and I'm your defense lawyer. Anyway, not the point. You should watch that show if you're going to make
I
me
won't.
watch Stranger
Nope,
Things.
Nope. Not until you crush all of Stranger Things.
And then you'll crush all of Better Call Saul?
Yeah, it's a deal. 100%.
All right. I'll take that bet.
I'm
More people
witness
need
for
to
this.
watch Better Call Saul.
I'm witness for this deal.
Best part for you is that Better Call Saul is wrapping their final season real
I
soon.
had to watch Better Call Saul. I didn't watch Breaking Bad.
You don't need to. It's a prequel.
All right, I'm in.
But if you do, you'll get a bunch of
I
like,
said
jokes.
I'm in.
And Mr. Cake himself, Giancarlo Esposito, is in both Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
I know he's fucking.
Anyway,
cute.
so Huey's banging Starlight. They're living happily ever after, and now he's
Uptown
working.
Girl.
And he's wearing suits to work every day, and Congresswoman Newman is stealing his lunch, and they're just being playful and whatever. And Huey oversees Butcher, Frenchie, and Kimiko, what is left of the boys. They are, I guess, officially contractors for the Bureau of Superhuman Affairs.
Yep.
They do the legwork, they do the investigations, all that shit, and Huey has to give them green lights. Well, I guess technically Newman does, but Huey is their direct liaison with the Bureau.
Yeah, Butcher sneaks up on Huey in the bathroom. It's real awkward.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And Huey, oh my God, Huey's doing a photo op with Starlight, and they're just like, singles, please, get out of here, other guy. And he backs up and just bumps right into Homelander, and it's just like, oh. Basically how it felt like, honestly, in that moment. I was like, oh boy, this is kicking off.
Well, it's almost as bad as when, a little bit later, what's his face? Speedster guy.
A-Train.
A-Train comes in. He's like, yeah, after all we've been through. And it's just like,
Who'd have thought
you
we'd be
ran
here
through
together?
You ran through his girlfriend.
He was holding a pair of arms, man.
Yeah, man, that's gotta not be like. I mean, and what's crazy is that I'm kind of Team A-Train a little bit. Like, what's up, bitches?
He's charismatic.
Yeah, I do like the guy, and
This show is my favorite at taking characters in one scene and making you hate them. Like A-Train coming up to Huey and being a douchebag at the red carpet. But then later on, when Homelander grabs him by the back of the neck and is like warming up his laser eyes to kill him because of some snide remark he said, I'm like, holy shit, I'm so sorry. I feel so bad for A-Train now. It's like... This show is really good. For all of you listening, I'm sorry that I still sound like shit. I'm still fighting off this tail end of a cold. But they do a really good job at making you hate a character in one scene, and then they flip it, and then they make you love that character.
yeah,
and feel
like
bad for him.
And then there's the deep.
Like in all, like
Still
in all,
just
no,
an idiot.
because I was just gonna say that, like, because this episode really, really made me like Stormfront.
It made me feel for Stormfront because
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I just like what they're doing with the character.
oh, I see.
we like the arc of the character.
We like the
We do
sad
not
hand
like-
jobs that she gives Homelander.
We do not like.
Is this what it sounds like when she gives him the
The handies.
Yeah.
This is the sad handy.
So what D is referring to, obviously you've seen it if you're listening to our podcast, but Stormfront is still alive, which took me as a surprise. I really thought she was dead.
I was glad they brought her back.
Yep, but she's in a bed, hooked up to machines, recuperating.
I mean, she looks
best
great
can.
now. She's blonde. She looks like the Charlize Theron.
Yeah, in the Dawn of the Seven, she's recast. It's great. But the real Stormfront is still fucking Darth Vadering it. She's got no legs, one arm. She's laying in the bed. Her one eye is like completely skin grafted over.
Yep.
She looks like a fucking scrotum.
Way more believable Darth Vader than the one we saw in Obi-Wan.
You know
But
what
hey,
she looks
hey,
like?
That is Hayden Christensen.
You know what she looks like, honestly? She looks like Deadpool when he takes the mask off in the movies. Like that scrotum-looking skin. But, like, Homelander goes up to her.
Hot, though, right?
Yeah.
That's
Real
like,
hot.
Will do, right?
Sure, totally.
I'd get
fuck
a
her.
sad hand job from a Nazi.
But fucking, she's laying there, and he's bitching about how bad his life is and how bad he has it. And she says, no one suffers as much as you suffer. And my poor baby.
That's so funny. It's
so funny.
It's so pathetic and funny. It's great. And
And then she pulls out her hand,
she
and I
goes-
think it's like for like a holding my hand thing, like I'm here for you. Instead, he lowers the bed and undoes his pants and puts his cock in her hands. And like, oh my fucking god, Homelander, you self-centered, selfish piece of shit. How the fuck?
Yeah, she was all into it. She was was so
Oh,
proud.
She wanted it.
She was
wanted
so
it.
proud of her boy, and then he's just like, "Oh, just cut it out with that shit. It's just
Yeah,
it's me.
and
It's
she
me.
says-
It's just me."
You're gonna lead a race of Aryan Ubermensches, and we're gonna take over the world. And he's like, no, fuck. How many times I gotta tell you? None of the Aryan race shit. And she's like, but that's the whole point. You're the chosen one. We waited 100 years for you. And he was like,
He's like, nah.
and then it's obviously he doesn't finish. Then he just like packs it back in his pants, like whatever. And then he's like, like the moment's ruined. And then he's leaving.
He said, he says, "Feel better.
Get some rest.
Just get some rest."
Yeah, I think he literally does say, "Get some rest." It's absolutely fucking hilarious.
So funny.
Um,
So funny.
So fucking funny, right?
So sadly funny.
Yeah.
But like, I don't care about that.
I mean, the
that
Nazi bitch deserves it. Let's be real here for a second.
Whatever. But yeah, so we skipped around a little bit. Yeah.
We did. We were just. Well, I mean, who?
It's not. It's yeah.
There's
it's the
a
first
lot.
episode.
There's a lot.
I mean, you got Mother's Milk, who's everybody's secret. Like anybody who says they're out is basically what it comes down to.
None of the boys are out, right?
I mean, Butcher's playing the straight and narrow. He hasn't killed a soup in a year.
Yeah,
He's
Butcher's
clearly like vying to get this to take him all down. He still wants Homelander, all that.
Yeah,
so
but he's trying to be a better
man.
man for his kid.
I think he's
not
biding his
kid,
time. I think he's biding his time. I think he's like, okay, here's the new.
I mean, he's clearly restless.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Like,
well, the ticking time bombs. I was
Yeah.
the entire episode is between Butcher and him. It's just like I wish I was a ticking time bomb. Like,
Yep.
he's just look how cool they look with the tick. They're just like literally jittering in their.
Yep.
they're two
seats.
tightly wound springs that are ready to go off.
Yes, and
They have a heart-to-heart about it.
they do. It's so fucking weird, right? Homelander just shows up at Butcher's apartment, and they have a talk, and they're just like, "We need to do some damage. We need to do some all-out warfare, shock and awe, blood and bone, until there's only one of us left standing." And Butcher's like, "Damn right."
So this is an interesting take because like it is, I think, a take on this is like the central metaphor I think that they're probably setting up here is like they want to kind of show how she mentions like it's peacetime, like the Newman.
Yes.
She's like it's peacetime. He's meant for war and stuff, and it's like, well, here's what happens in quote unquote peacetime is like you get festering wounds that just like bubble and bubble and bubble until they just overflow again, and your peacetime is just like
Ergo, World War I.
pushing everything back. So like what and. They throw out a number. It's like Huey's like, oh, it's down 60%.
Yeah,
right?
they say superhero. What is it?
Collateral
Collateral is
and
down
that's-
60%.
And that's such a amazing like stat number. 60% is like so perfect because it's
Yep.
like it's clearly above. It's past 50 the 50 percentile, right? It's over 50%. It's definitely a majority. It's past that, but it is like the minuscule amount that it can be at like a pure,
Yep.
like because even at like 58%, you're like, oh, it's just you're just in the 50%
In the
range.
50s.
But now this is like you are 60%. We are like clearly there, but like that's still almost half that is still happening, and for something that's so atrocious, and that's always what we're doing, regardless of the reality of it. Like whether it's superheroes in this show or police crime, I think was the thing that they were probably calling out. Like I think he says a few bad apples at one point.
Yeah.
And it's just like to weed out all this stuff is like to say, oh, we did 60% less. Like
The mirror imaging
So
of the
bad.
common, like the modern day political satire is so fucking spot on in this show. I absolutely love it.
yeah, from everything from the Bork cut or whatever it was.
Yeah, they released the Burke cut. Yep.
So good.
Oh god, it was amazing.
That guy, oh, that fucking scene with the sex scene in the stall
yeah.
with Redhead.
Ashley and
Ashley.
director
he
Burke.
he rips her hair out and starts crying. They just move on.
She
like
says,
nothing.
"Pull my hair," and he does, and she's like, "No, rip it out," and then he does, and they both come, and it's so weird.
And he cries.
He's crying, and
It's
she's
all
like,
mixed in there.
And there's
The
a sand
hair-
hand job in there.
Oh yeah, he has the hair in his head. He throws it away, and then he goes.
And then he
shake
shakes Huey's hand, and Huey's just like, "I'm just gonna scrub my hands now." Like, what the fuck?
It's so funny.
But
So
yeah,
funny.
so Newman,
Everybody just vying for power, vying for fame, vying for
yeah.
they're playing the game.
But as you said with the time bombs, fucking Butcher is clearly a time bomb. He is super restless. He wants to murder somebody now. Homelander, between his giant apology tour where he admits to Stormfront he doesn't mean any of it, and then he got bumped down a slot for the Deep, and that cut him real bad. And then you have
Cut him pretty deep.
yeah, it did.
God,
and then you
I
have
wish we had our tablet.
you have Mr. CEO Edgar.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
there we go. Live recreation. CEO Edgar making Starlight co-captain because she's polling at like a 96, which is just unheard of for any soup apparently. And he wants to give her power over the 7 and let her pick who goes in. And fucking Homelander is so mad.
So just I mean, like obviously this really focused on Homelander this episode and Butcher, but you know they did some like I would say like Butcher and Homelander are their stars in the show, and then
Oh, for sure.
and then like Huey and
Protagonist,
Starlight are kind of the secondaries.
Everybody needs a sidekick.
So yeah, like the whole arc they're gonna go with Starlight is like they're he's offering her keys to the castle, right? Like this is the deal with the devil, right? Like this is the the classic. So I don't know where else I've seen this, but I know I've seen it as something I oft reference, but as Angel, where like the enemy gives you control of their organization in order to corrupt you.
Yep.
Right. You're like the idea is, well, you can change it from the inside. Like you have control. This is a whole organization at your disposal. Like you can do with it what you will, but to stay in business, you gotta you gotta break a few eggs, and like that's always the thing is like what is the trade-off for this power that he's literally offering her? He's like, I'm talking about real power, and that's the enticing part, right? That's the part that they would always get you on. But
And that's what she says to Huey when she's trying to justify it in her trailer later, because she's shooting some stupid fucking like American Idol-esque reality show where they pick
American
a new soup.
Hero.
Yeah. And Huey's talking to her about it, and he's like, they are the enemy. And she's just like, but I can change them from within. I can pick good people to be in the 7. And she's saying this, and I'm just like, you have already drunk the Kool-Aid. You're just trying to justify it to Huey now. Like, she's already said yes in her head.
Yeah, I mean, I think she feels like she has been through the fire, and she's at the other side, and she's doing, and
Not
now
like
she's
Obi-Wan.
Now she's at 96%, right? Like now she's like, so she does probably feel like she can
Like not 96 is a good percentage. Not like 60.
No. It's at least 30 points higher than 60.
At least, I mean,
I can do math.
yeah, at least that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe 29. I don't know. But no, this is the play is like she feels legitimately like she can pick the 7, she can do this, but like that's the ultimate corruption is just like feeling like you are doing the right thing, and that's like someone can always call you out on that, and that's the issue is like where does a line draw where you're like, oh no, I can actually do good here, because like if you put you put anybody in like a serious power, it's like they're going to be corrupted if they want to keep the system going,
Right.
Also,
whereas the other ones want to dismantle it, right? And it's like there has to be that guideline, but this show does seem to take on the idea that like this Huey Newman thing of like 60%, like that is the status quo bullshit, right?
You mentioned it, and I just went through my head of like, that was like whole Daenerys Targaryen's whole thing in Game of Thrones was to break the wheel, because the wheel just keeps going. People keep getting into power saying they want to change it, and then they don't. That's the whole plot of like the fucking Inquisitors in Star Wars. The first Inquisitors were like, oh, I can maybe help Vader become a better guy, but no, you're all just dark side assholes. And then fucking, oh god, I've got so many of those tropes. It's all the same.
Well, and that's the thing is like Star Wars is a good example.
I mean,
look at the original.
it mimics real life. We're always trying to maintain status quo.
Well,
change is scary.
Kind of. I wouldn't say that. Like we generally want a status quo, but oftentimes we will be moved to rebellion and revolt in order to get what we think will be a status quo.
Get basic human rights.
Right. So but that's the thing is like I don't know these. I don't know. You made me lose my train of thought.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you lose.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was
I'm
Chris.
I'm
it was all
sorry.
Chris.
Did I derail you?
You derailed
like
me.
usual.
No. So we have Mother's Milk, who's also trying to get back with his baby mama and love, and she's dating this white guy in a Homelander outfit, which is just this beta
Just
guy
perfect.
in an outfit. It's just really ugh. Like, and you look at Mother's Milk and you're like, this guy just has to eat shit. And then it just makes me feel bad because I'm like a pretty small guy. And then I think of myself like, oh man, what if some just big dude just wanted to just fuck me up? Like, just if Mother's Milk, like, what if I came in my like, Stranger Things like outfit from Halloween, like my Steve outfit, and then he just looks at me and he just goes like, "Oh, you piece of shit!" Like I'm like, I don't know. Just the idea of like, I don't know. It sucks. I'm sure this guy's fine.
Jeff, I think we could bully D.
Oh, we absolutely could. I don't have it in me to do it, but we could.
No, I don't think you can.
I think I'll shove you around sometime.
No, I don't think you can.
He owns a couple of golf clubs. I'm sure he could beat the shit out of us. But no, this episode does a really good job setting the scene for the rest of the season because fucking Homelander is ready to blow, Butcher's ready to blow, Newman is clearly not who she says she is, and Huey is figuring that out at the end when he eavesdrops on her and sees her murder that Tony guy.
Yeah, in case you didn't remember from season 2, she's the one that makes people's heads explode.
Yeah. She blows people's heads up and she fucking blew the fuck out of this Tony guy. And it's not just heads, it's whatever she's looking at because he did his and Tony knew that because he did his best to obscure her vision. And she blew up his hand and then like part of his jaw and then the rest of the lower half of his face.
He was a soup too, right? He had telekinetic powers or something. He threw her against the wall.
Yes, he had some sort of power, but it's unclear what it was.
He seemed to be super strong.
Dead now.
I swear he moved. He telekinetic.
He was also like. Typically, soups have some form of like enhanced strength. He was trying to crush her head.
Right. Yeah. So he was trying to. But yeah. So this did, accurately, identify that her power is limited to like what she can see. If she can't see it, it has to line to the sight. So she explodes what she can see. So if she cannot see you, so she's not gonna have eyes by the end of this show, right?
Yeah,
there's no way she.
Butcher's
gets out
definitely taking her eyes out as trophies.
Oh yeah, her eyes are gonna be something else. They're probably gonna be given to Stormfront, maybe.
Don't do that. Resurrect her in some Darth Vader armor
and now she blows you up when she looks at you.
In addition to whatever lightning she can summon out of her good hand. Dude.
It can come out of her stump.
Can it?
Stump lightning's the best lightning.
Oh my god. But this, oh god, I'm so excited for the rest of this season, man. I'm so excited, man.
It's gonna be a time.
So they introduce at the end. They get the file. Maeve is clearly trying to take down Homelander. She is like done with his shit. She's a bomb. Yeah. So she's working with
which Butcher was getting inside information on like soups that were like being dicks and like tracking them down. And Huey's like, "Who's your source?" And he's like, "Fuck you, that's my source." And then we find out it's Maeve by the end. So yeah.
But she, and by the way, I love her in civilian clothing. She's an absolute goddess.
Oh, absolutely.
And she's just cool.
She's so fucking cool. She's so hot.
Cool. Like she just seems cool. Like and together and and it's funny because Starlight, for a skinny blonde, which is not my MO.
Yep.
At all, is just absolutely stunning. Like
absolutely. Huey's punched above his weight.
Huey is just setting himself up for disaster every day with this nonsense that he's living. He's just like, and I feel like he knows it. He's just like, look at the overfresh. Please, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You still love me today? Thank you.
I mean, if you're a human dating a superhero, you gotta feel insecure,
especially, and that's the whole thing they go with the other guy that she's dating. And it's just like
Supersonic.
What are you fucking gonna do? What do you like?
You're gonna fight for your honor. He can literally just slap you apart.
Yeah, basically.
But I mean, like that's not a unrealistic scenario in real life.
No.
Like there are plenty of dudes that could just swat me around.
Yep, me too.
Blow up my urethra.
Just sever you in half as your bowels just void themselves all down the bed.
Liquefy my gonads. Add a look. Whatever. Just this is always the case. So there is an element of like, well, would you like? Let's put it because we've all been in a scenario where there's like a guy that could totally swat you away if he wanted to, but like this person could literally with a punch kill you, but like that's always the case, or somebody could have a gun at all times.
Yeah.
Like it's not like this, death. Someone couldn't kill you that wanted to, right? So then you have to think to yourself, like, what am I really worried about right here? Like, what is the real concern? And I think that's the part where like someone like Starlight is like, oh, what the fuck ever, but he's like, I don't. It's his own shit,
right?
In the end,
That's all insecurities are. It's their own shit.
But I'm wondering, like, but the fact that we all kind of feel it when he goes through it, like, oh, can you imagine, like, you're dating like you just said, you're dating a superhero. You're gonna like, are you? Like, what if I date like a celebrity? Like, is that the same kind of deal? It's just a woman. With...
Just comes down to who you are as a person. Like, he was pretty insecure with Robin in season 1. She had to make the first move.
And the other thing of like just actors in general, like. There's just some people that are like okay with like, oh, it's my job to make out and be naked with this hot guy. Like it's my job. Like we're cool though, honey. Like it doesn't mean anything. Like
yeah.
I guess all those actor relationships just work out, right? They just work out, right? That's all we hear about, right?
Ryan Reynolds had to bang Marina Baccarin how many times in Deadpool, and he still went home to Blake Lively every night. Like he fucking made it work.
Yeah. Are they still together? Is that a thing? Okay. How long have they been together?
Years.
Okay.
After he divorced Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, exactly. This is my point, man. It's like, oh, and after he divorced Alanis Morissette.
Yes.
So it's just like...
I don't think they were married, but yeah, I see your point.
Like, see, here's the thing, though. Like, these ones have kids, right? Do they have kids?
Yeah.
Ryan and Blake
so
have kids.
This is the long one. The third one, where you have the one that has kids is the long one. And then you get in, and then you bachelor up again in your late.
And then you pull a Leonardo DiCaprio and date somebody in their
20s
early
or
20s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think he dated anybody over 30.
Yeah, I think I've seen that Reddit post actually, where all of his girlfriends.
Well, he doesn't.
Like
He doesn't want to be a phony.
No, of course not. No.
You gotta.
How dare he look like a phony or a poser dating anyone over the age of 30?
Yeah.
No, but
So they got
what was the original?
It was Vought. Maeve came in. Maeve
yes,
came
Maeve
in,
and Vought,
and they're gonna take him down. I love Maeve. She's I like this whole deal. So they bring in Payback, which if you didn't catch is
Avengers.
Is the Avengers.
Yeah.
So because they avenge and these guys.
They get payback.
Yeah.
And we learn in the Black Noir is a former paybacker and current Seven.
So it looks like this crew is made up of some kind of, the one I've seen in the trailer, she's like a Scarlet Witch type.
Mm-hmm. She was Crimson Countess, I think.
She looks like a problem.
Yes.
I think she just like explodes people and eviscerates them. So par for the course.
And then Gunpowder.
Termite is, I think, in it.
Termite is a payback person?
Or some other, or Swatto.
Swatto.
One of the ones that gets small, and one of the other ones that gets small.
Okay.
And then there was Ammo, which is apparently like a Punisher / Judge Dredd kind of analog. But they haven't shown Tech Knight yet. And Tech Knight would be like their Iron Man, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you were, excuse me, Tech Knight, Stormfront was a payback person in the comics. Soldier Boy, Swatto, Crimson Countess, Mind Droid, and Eagle the Archer. Eagle the Archer! Oh my God!
Yeah, he's Hawkeye.
Be a little more creative.
He's their Hawkeye.
Yeah, clearly.
He's eagle-eyed. Okay.
Oh wait, who was the archer that was in the fucking cult with the deep? What was his?
That's him.
That's Eagle.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So we've met a couple paybackers throughout the series.
We have them, and then obviously Soldier Boy, who's apparently supposed to be nearly as strong as Homelander, is what they're saying, and that they're trying to find some weapon that is going to that apparently took him out. Although we know that that's not the case based on the trailers. But yeah, this seems like. I'm just wondering how they're going to play with Soldier Boy. I'm so intrigued to see how this goes because I want to see if they play him because this is the other thing I heard. I heard that he may like negate powers or something.
Soldier Boy?
Yeah, like he might like dampen the levels of some people around him. Like so if they have, that could be wrong. But this is nothing from the comics. This is just like what they were showing. They also showed him apparently with some kind of energy projection.
You were right on all of it, actually, with the Payback team. So Tech Knight is an analog of Iron Man. Stormfront is taking cues from Thor. Crimson Countess, inspired by the Scarlet Witch. Mind Droid, inspired by Vision. Swatto, drawing inspiration from Hank Pym. And Soldier Boy, obviously parodying Captain America. So that is, wow, that's really spot on, and you were absolutely right.
Tech Knight is one of the most memorable little storylines in the early boys books because they get into this whole thing where he like talks to his therapist. Are you reading it now?
I clicked on his page on the wiki, and it always opens with a quote from them from the comics. But his quote is, "Gentlemen, if it has a hole, I can fuck it."
This is the thing. Is like he's talking to his therapist. I
can't believe that's not attributed to Love Sausage.
No. You have to understand. No, it's definitely Tech Knight because here's the thing. Like he only says that after when we're introduced to him, he is like sex addicted. And he's talking to his therapist, and he's like, I can't stop fucking things. And he's literally, like, flying ahead of time, and he sees, like, Eagle Archer, like, ahead, and he's just like... And he just, like, takes him, and he's like, I took my own teammate, I can't stop. And, like, it's this whole thing. And then literally it gets to a point where somehow that's needed. And he's like, gentlemen...
He's got to fuck the MacGuffin to save the world.
Yes. It's like, it reminds me of Job from Arrested Development when he's like, oh, just leave it to Job. We'll fuck our way out of it.
Oh, my God. That's so fucking hilarious.
But, yeah, I'm intrigued to see if they will do Tech Knight at some point. But we already saw some great Swatto stuff.
Yeah, I'm very
like
excited. I'm very, very excited to see the Payback team. But the whole reason they get brought in is because Maeve says Soldier Boy was allegedly killed after stopping a nuclear meltdown in Ohio. He got buried under the rubble. And apparently, like, the name of the weapon that actually killed him is, like, something red. And Homelander's... and if it can kill Soldier Boy, it can kill Homelander. So Maeve is like, great, we find out what this thing is, whatever it is, and we find it and we use it to blow Homelander's fucking brains out and end him forever. And to do that, we got to talk to the people that would know if Soldier Boy is alive, Crimson Countess and Gunpowder. So now it sounds like fucking Butcher's got a hell of a mission on his hands. He's got to get information from Soups, which is why Maeve gives him the new Vought drug, V24, which is temp
Temp soup.
Yeah, temp soup, whatever. You do it, and it gives you powers for 24 hours, and then you're done. But it's still in research and development, so it could make your testicles swell up to the size of footballs for all Butcher knows. So who knows?
And the thumbnail for this season is Billy Butcher with glowing red eyes.
Blue
glowing
eyes.
Yellow.
Oh, is it blue?
I thought it was
yellow.
red.
No, it's blue because they did a like a wall mural ad that I saw on Reddit of Butcher wanted posters, and he's blasting eyes down into like this burnt out car, and it's a big blue beam of light.
This is weird because, like I said, in the vault. Now, granted, this was the movie, but the 7 movie trailer thing. But like when he blasts his eyes, they're yellow, which is not Homelander's colors. And then I'm confident in the trailers. Butcher was not shooting blue. He was shooting yellow. Like I'm just a little confused at their connections.
I think we're all crazy.
It could be. It's been a while. I don't know.
I think The Boys is just a fever dream we're having.
Could be.
It could be. Oh, so you're right. In that Butcher's eyes are orange. And but Homelander's are red in every image I'm seeing on this.
But look up the 7.
I there's a still from it, and I only see. Oops, let me get back there real quick.
No, I don't like this at all.
Homelander eyes images. Yeah, it's all. That one looks orange, but that's him from season 1.
No, but look up the one from him where it's the
Dawn of the 7.
7 uncut. Dawn of the 7 uncut.
The Bork cut.
The Bork cut. Bigger, longer, and Bork cut.
Ew.
No, well, you know who didn't? You know who was uncut? Guy who got his urethra exploded.
You're fucking terrible. I can't find a still exactly from the opening bit of episode 1, but we can just rewatch it.
We're just going to have to go ahead and trust me then, I guess.
Sure, why not? That's
I've never
led me
trusted
astray.
D a day in my life.
No, I don't know how much there is left to say about the first episode, other than that it's clearly setting up a very tense situation among everybody,
Yeah.
and I'm very curious to see how it all plays out and who's gonna kill whom.
But
I'm sorry, thank you.
no. No, I'm interested to see what happens in Maeve. I don't know. Like, I'm very intrigued to see Soldier Boy enter the fray and get a feel for how this character's going to play.
I mean,
because-
I'll always look at Jensen Ackles.
I mean, I will. Jensen,
And that's the thing,
his
right?
Ackles
And that's
all
what
night.
like. If we had just watched episode 1 completely cold, then we would be like, "Oh, Soldier Boy, he's probably gonna be here." But like, we know he's gonna be here because he got cast, and he's definitely gonna be here. He was in a bunch of marketing stuff, which is kind of like when I was reading like 2 weeks ago about the new Lego set of Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader, and I was like, "Oh, well, it's a kind of a spoiler for a different show." A different show that we're talking about, but like, you know what I mean? Marketing sucks sometimes. I don't know. I'm probably just old and
I
crotchety.
hate advertising. Anyway, if you'd like us,
Yes. Speaking of ads, if you liked what you heard, please leave us a kind review on your favorite podcasting platform. Give us 5 stars. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a like, a subscribe, all that bullshit.
And tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Tell an enemy. Tell a stranger in the
tell
supermarket.
all your enemies, actually. Make a lot of enemies, and then tell them about our podcast.
That is the TB&J code. Make
That's our
enemies
slogan.
and then tell them about
Subject
your
your
favorite
enemies to our voice.
podcast. Yes. What a great ad
Make
campaign.
enemies, subject them to us.
Perfect. I don't see how that could go wrong at all. That's it. That's our show. We'll see you in a few days for the rest of The Boys and Obi-Wan.
But I have something to add after
Oh.
after the fucking hell.
Jesus, what the I'm gonna mute that.
Thank you, D. You fucking nut.
You know what I realized? I don't think this slider does anything to the actual audio recording. I think it's only in our ears.
Jeff, you're good at your job, aren't you?
Yeah.
Slow hand job to fade.
And cut.